Welcome to this special edition of Flying Cruise In Video Magazine. Recently, out here at the Marion Municipal Airport, we had two very rare, unique airplanes stop and pay us a visit, a B-17 and a B-24. These two airplanes were part of the Wings of Freedom tour sponsored by the Collins Foundation. Inge Harte had an opportunity to fly on both of these historic airplanes. She also had an opportunity to meet with several of our local World War II veterans who flew many missions. Let's now join Inge as she shares these experiences with us.
Well, we've made it out here the second day at the Marion Municipal Airport, and I have some wonderful, good-looking guys with me today who actually flew some of these planes that are behind us today. I love to do shows with the old-timers. You're just so full of information, and a lot of this stuff we need to get across to a lot of our teenagers and our younger generation out there of what you guys went through and why you went through it, and that's why we're free here in the United States. And the planes that are behind us today is a B-17 and a B-24, and they're part of the Freedom Tour that's going across the United States. Homer,
Yes.
You want to look into that camera over there and tell everybody who you are and your title and what you did in the service.
Homer Hensley. I live in Fairmount, Indiana. I was in the 390th Bomb Group, 571st Squadron, and it was kind of rough to start with. I flew spare with another crew. We come back and they told me it was a milk run, and if it was a milk run, 188 holes in the ship wasn't that important to me. I was ready to peel potatoes the rest of my life. But anyhow, I think the most thing that stands out in my life is the comradeship that I had with my crew. They became closer than my brothers, really. So that stands out in my mind. And then we flew, I don't know how many missions it was, but anyhow, we went on what they call these shuttle runs to Russia, to Italy, and things like that. Well, our first shuttle run, we got shot down over Danube, Poland, and we crashed in Russia, just about 15 miles east of Kyiv. And the co-pilot, Captain Meinberger, and I had to stay with the ship. Why? I was a tail gunner. I don't know why I'd have to stay with it, but I did. Front to back, I guess is what it was. Anyhow, we stayed there 7 days and had sea rations. They finally come out to the plane and got us because they didn't want us to leave the bomb site unguarded. From then on, we went out there. We went into lunch and one day, and the Russian colonel says, well, let's have a toast. And they had glasses of water sitting there. And we thought it was water. Come to find out it was vodka.
Oh,
and they
good.
toasted, and everybody gasped. You know, it was really tough. But anyhow, they shipped us from there to Mirgorod, Russia, and we was there, I don't know how many days. And they went from there. We went to Poltava, and finally they got a ship ready to bring us back. We had to go around. We was going to have to go around and come through Africa and all down through that way. Anyhow, we got out about 3 hours, and one of them engines went out, and we had to come back. So, anyhow, all in all, we finally got a plane that took us, and we stopped in Tehran, Persia. At that time, it was Persia. And we went from there to Casablanca in North Africa, and all in all, we was gone 33 days. I got over there this D-Day, and I was home for Thanksgiving dinner, flew 35 missions, weighed 194 when I went and 143 when I got back.
I'm sure these guys that are listening right now probably can relate to what you're talking about. Let's hear a little bit from James.
My name is Jim Paulin. I was a captain on a B-17. We started flying on July the 24th of '44 in ground support of the troops that had been established on the beach, and they were going to break out and run for Germany. We flew 33 missions in about 5 months, and ours was one of the very, very lucky crews because we all got home safely. A couple of guys got hit with flak, but they recovered nicely. And our bombardier was with another crew one day, and he got shot down, but they parachuted, and he got back and finished his missions. So we all got back and thought that was very, very nice. The rest of my crew came home, and I got transferred to another station close by called Alconbury. Alconbury was known as a Pathfinder group, and we were flying missions for training. We were training navigators and bombardiers to fly with technical ways of bombing through the clouds. You didn't have to bomb visually that way. So they were experimenting with all kinds of things that had been developed both in this country and in England. So I was still at Alconbury when the war ended in '45. Got back here in about June, and it wasn't too long after that, I guess it was August, when the war ended. I hadn't been in a B-17 until yesterday, since 1945, so that was a big thrill.
I was lucky enough to fly with you yesterday.
Yes.
Of course, you weren't behind the controls, but it was
fun.
It was fun, wasn't it?
It sure was.
It was an awesome trip.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it also.